Hey there, it's me, Julie Fan Balzer, and today I have a formula for you to create Valentine's Day cards. So a lot of times, whether I'm doing sort of pieces like this that are much more sort of finished art, or whether I'm doing things that are a little more sort of at the crafty end of the spectrum, I use a formula. Now, a formula doesn't mean that everything is the same or anything like that. A formula is really about just giving you something to hang on to make it a little bit easier where some of the thinking is gone. If you listen to some of the recent episodes of the Adventures in Arting podcast that I host with my mom, we've been talking a lot about sort of emotional labor or mental labor and how to streamline your process. And a lot of that is about not having to do the entirety of everything all at once. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a couple simple elements, or you can just gather a couple simple elements and you can make a whole host of beautiful Valentine's Day cards. So first of all, let's check out the formula. So as you can see, the first step in the formula is you need to make or find or gather or buy or whatever some black and white paper. Now, here in this video, what I'm doing is I'm painting a bunch of black and white paper. I'm just using plain old copy paper, and this is high flow paint from Golden, which is like a really thin sort of watercolor-like consistency or ink-like consistency. So it's really easy to paint with, but you could use markers, colored pencils, regular pens that you have. You can use scrapbook paper that already has black and white patterns. You can buy all kinds of beautiful Japanese papers that have gorgeous black and white patterns. I mean, just lots of choices here, but the fact is you want a variety of patterns that are just black and white. Okay, so next part of our formula is we want red hearts. Now, of course, I know hearts come in all kinds of colors and you could do a wide variety and like you could do pink and purple and green, but no, for our formula to make this work, we want this to be red. And so personally, I'm going to gelatin print my papers to make my hearts, but you could sew them out of felt. You could make them out of fabric. You could, again, find some papers that are already red in your stash and do this. You could buy some hearts at the store. Craft stores have tons of stuff. They could be glitter. It doesn't matter. The idea is just that these are going to be red hearts. So again, I'm gelatin printing, using stencils, trying to use every little last bit of paint. And of course, if you want to know more about gelatin printing, I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel about it, and I have a huge, massive class called A Year of Gelatin Printing that I think has more than 200 videos and is really about mastering gelatin printing. And of course, you get lifetime access to that, so you can check that out too. But after I have gelatin printed all the paper, I'm just cutting out the hearts. And again, I'm trying to make a variety of sizes, but it's not like a crazy variety. I know my cards are going to be 5 by 7, so I'm keeping them fairly small so that they'll fit on the cards. If you don't feel comfortable cutting by hand, feel free to use a die cut machine of any kind, an electronic or a hand crank, you know, whatever you have. But actually, hearts are one of my favorite things to cut because you just fold the paper in half and cut it out like you did in kindergarten. Okay, last but not least, we want to gather our embellishments. Now, I think embellishments in black, white, gold, red, those are all good choices. I happen to have little drawers in my studio that I can pull out and just bring over to my table. And your embellishments could be ribbon, buttons, rhinestones, random things you found at the junk shop. I mean, I just have a wide variety of, for lack of a better term, crap that I've collected over the years, and I divide it up by color and then I pull it out when I need it. Okay, so this is where we really get into the formula. It's not just what you're using, which again, we have 3 ingredients, right? We have the black and white paper, we have the red heart, and then we have the embellishments. But it's the percentages in how you're putting them together, right? And I'll show you at the end a card that I made that didn't work out because I went off of the percentages. So again, these are guesstimates. We're not like actually measuring anything. It's just the idea of it, right? So 75% of your card you want to have be the black and white paper. So for me, what that means is it's easiest to basically make a base out of black and white paper. And so this base can be like the entire card. It can be a part of the card. You can collage together multiple different little pieces of black and white paper, use one black and white piece of paper. It doesn't matter. I'm just using a plain white card base. This is just something I bought on Amazon because you can make your own cards, but it's just easier to buy them, I feel like, with the fold sort of already in them. I just like it that way. Okay, so then after you've put down your 75% of your black and white base, you want to add your red heart. okay? And you can figure out the placement however you want. I went pretty straight up down the middle almost every single time. It is the dominant focal point of the card. You're going to see it right away. You're going to look at it. You're going to know it's there. There was one card where I put 2 hearts, but I still kept it to about 15% of the card, right? It's not overwhelming the card. And then the last 10% is the embellishments, meaning you don't want to like have a huge sneeze of embellishments. That's a technical term. But what you want to do is you want to just zhuzh in a little dash of embellishments. Could you do this without the embellishments? 100% yes, you absolutely could. But the thing about adding the embellishments is I think it adds that little something extra that makes your project really, really special. And so that's why I think it's nice to have something that adds some different textures, it adds some different dimension, it makes each card unique. It also makes them a little longer to make. So if you were like, making this for 50 people in your office or 20 people in your office, you might want to skip the embellishments just because they are each individual, so you have to think about it. But if you're making just like a couple, I think it really kicks it up that notch, okay? So let's take a look at the finished cards. So I made 7 cards, which you can see here, and these 6, I really stuck to the formula of 75% of it is black and white paper, 15% of it is a red heart or even 2 red hearts, and then 10% is embellishments. On this one, I did add a lot more embellishments, and I don't think it hangs together as well as the other ones. When you really have that big 75%, that's a black and white pattern, 15% that is a red heart, and then 10% that is embellishment. I think it's just a better formula, to make it work, whatever the embellishment or the paper or the size of the heart or anything like that. It's just a cleaner way of looking at it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video and that you'll try out this formula for your own Valentine's Day cards. If you like this content and you want to see more, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and of course turn on notifications. I also offer a monthly membership. And in the art membership, we talk about things like formulas, we talk about gelatin printing, I share lots of techniques and demos on how to do multiple different kinds of art projects. People ask for advice about our careers, about selling art, about products they're interested in, and all of that is available to you as a member. So I hope you'll check that out. My classroom site is balzerdesigns.com/classroom. The classroom has a capital C. We can also connect on Instagram or Facebook where I am Balzer Designs. So I hope to see you again soon.